Hello, fellow Ozians.
Welcome to Oz Talk, Tori. It's so good to see you as always. How are you?
It's always lovely to see you too, Ryan, and I'm excited because we're talking about Oz on Ice.
Yes, it is our special occasion to get together because there's an all-new production presented by Ice Creative Entertainment, which is ICE, get it? It only took me 2 days to figure that out, but it's brilliant. It's this brilliant, multifaceted entertainment company that specializes in athleticism and ice shows, and we are going to be joined by the producer, Alex Wilfand, in just a moment. But first, let us walk down memory lane. I see you have on a shirt that is very reminiscent, if not from the classic The Wizard of Oz on Ice. That was the Kenneth Feld production that toured nationally from 1995 to 2000. There was, of course, the TV special starring Oksana Bayul as Dorothy in 1996 that we all tuned into. And that's the shirt, if I'm not, wasn't there a vintage shirt that Jonathan Bailey was wearing recently when promoting Press for Wicked?
Okay, fun fact. So this is actually a recreation of that original t-shirt that he had on, which was a piece of merchandise from the original Wizard of Oz on Ice, Stay With Me, because it was just so cool to see Jonathan Bailey paying homage to this vintage piece of merch. And they're now selling recreations of it because finding the vintage ones is very difficult. And I was so excited to see it that I grabbed one of these recreated ones. I have such happy memories of Wizard of Oz on Ice, which I didn't get to see in person because it wasn't accessible for us. But I remember watching that VHS tape of the Oksana Bayul special, and it was just so exciting. And the merch! Everybody knows about the Wizard of Oz on Ice merch if you're an Oz collector.
Yes, and this all-new production has merch of its own as well. We'll get to that in a bit. But you're right. I was lucky enough. I mean, I'm much older than you, and I was in college at the time when it started to tour, and I did get to see it live with my family in 1995 when it first opened and came through Milwaukee. I was going to college in Madison, and yeah, the merch was amazing and it was spectacular. I think one of the greatest things about it, in addition to just the way it's so beautifully adapted to figure skating and ice dancing, if that's even a thing, was the Bobby McFerrin soundtrack. Because they used the MGM score, and Bobby McFerrin is known for his great a cappella and different voices and all the rest of it. And that soundtrack is extremely rare and hard to come by as well. I wish it was available digitally. It's not, but if you can find a CD, it's definitely worth enjoying. It's probably on the same place where you're watching us.
Yeah, it's one of those really special things from the 90s that happened in the wake of the 50th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. And so many of us who grew up in that era have really fond memories of it. And collectors now very competitively go after those original pieces of merch. It's just nostalgia overload. And it was so well done. And it happened in a period of ice skating where the ice show had a resurgence following that infamous Olympic Games, in which Tanya Harding and I'm going to forget the other one's name. Tanya Harding and what's the other skater's name? Oh my gosh.
Nancy Kerrigan?
Nancy Kerrigan went head to head, and Oksana Bayul actually came up behind them and scooped up that gold medal. So this is such a historic piece of Oz art, and I'm so excited to see an iteration of Oz on Ice return.
I know. First, before we bring the producer in, Alex, he's waiting in the wings. We're so glad he's here today. Let's show some of our merch. What do you have from the original production?
So
90s production.
This is just a couple of things because I have a whole shelf. But back in the day, they released a Dorothy doll to go with Oz on Ice. Imagine being a little girl in that audience and wanting to get and take home your very own Dorothy. And it has that very 90s look of Dorothy on the little star there with the bow in the back and the braids in the front.
So cute.
And do you guys remember these little spinners?
I have that. I love that. I love that. I have the winged monkey sword.
Oh, that's what I'm still looking for.
Oh, that's right. And then didn't I give you recently? I guess
yes, the horse of a different color.
Right. Yeah, I had that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to give this to Tori," and so I gave it to you. So now you have it. But I feel like we share. I feel like your collection is mine and mine is yours. And
100%.
I'm making the public proclamation anyway. You're in my will. My entire Oz collection goes to you anyway. So there it is. If it's not legally, we have it on record right here. But it will be legal. So I found this was the one thing I was able to grab. I believe in the Wizard of Oz on Ice, they had the whole set of these. There were the figures too. I have them in a display case in another room. But yeah, the merch was fantastic. I'm excited to talk about the merch coming up. But without further ado, let's welcome to the show Alex Wilfand, who is CEO and founder of Ice Creative Entertainment. They previously have produced ice shows like Peter Pan and Wendy, The Nutcracker, Fairy Tales on Ice, and they do a great blend of circus and other kinds of stagecraft and athleticism. Welcome, Alex. So glad you could join us on Oz Talk.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting. I love it. I love seeing all the old merch as well. Funny enough, I saw that show. That was the first ever ice skating show I saw. I think I was like 8 or 9, and it made me want to become a professional ice skater. So it's really cool to like full circle it with you guys and talk about it.
Wow, that kind of leads me to my first question then, because I was curious after all the other things that you've produced with Ice Creative Entertainment, why did you choose Wizard of Oz on Ice and to do an all-new production as your next venture?
With the hype of Wicked coming out, I knew that was coming out, and it's one of my favorite stories. And about a couple of years ago, they started talking about it. And I was like, boy, it would be great to recreate Wizard of Oz on Ice again. It's been years. And so I decided, let's just go for it and see how it goes. And so far, wow, what a great reaction. And cities are selling very, very well. So we're excited to kind of reimagine the story and bring it to life for everybody.
So will this be an adaptation of the MGM version of The Wizard of Oz on Ice, or is this a whole original thing?
So it's based off the book. We do pay homage to parts of the MGM film without showing too much. But the cool thing is it being about the original book, which is very similar to the movie. Being able to bring that modern twist and reimagine some moments are something that we do fantastically. So it's definitely based on the story and with our own little twist.
Very cool. I'm curious about this synthetic ice, different than the arena tour where it's actually in ice rinks. You're going to actual theaters and there's synthetic ice and performing on stages in front of auditoriums that way. What is that and how does it adapt that way?
That's a great question. So everybody hears synthetic ice and they're like, what is going to happen? The cool thing is we work with this company, Global Synthetic, and they created a scientifically kind of created surface that's the closest to refrigerated ice you'll ever find. And that gives us the opportunity to be able to play theaters and to be able to play venues that you would never expect to see the show in. It skates like real ice. You'll still see the triple jumps. You'll see all the lifts. Nobody will really know, which is cool. And, again, it's excited to bring it to cities that would maybe never be able to get the chance to see a show like this as well. And actually this year we are playing some arenas on real ice as well. So we're really excited to bring it to Ice as well.
Oh, very cool. Is that an adapt, like is there adjustments that have to be made for performers like skating on synthetic ice? Is it different than real ice or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. It definitely takes like 20 minutes to get used to, and you kind of retrain yourself how to skate. But after 20 minutes, like it's like normal. It's awesome. And, we, of course, have so many special effects happening and so many different things going on where no one's thinking, oh, what are they skating on? It looks real. It skates real. It's pretty neat. And then, of course, when we go into the real arenas, we add some different things to the show. We light the ice on fire, and we do some other crazy moments, which is exciting. So yeah, it's a mix of both this tour, and then next tour we're doing a lot of arenas. So we're excited.
Very cool.
So this is kind of, to me, this feels a little bit of a mix of like circus and the traditional ice show.
Yeah, you know, what I'm known for is I'm known for just not being the old school ice capades. I'm like the new school. So pulling in some cirque performers. This year we have jugglers and hula hoop artists and hand balancers, but they're also all on skates. So it's nothing like you've seen before, where it's not like a cirque person walking out in a sneaker. These are people that are professionally trained figure skaters doing these tricks on the ice, which is really, really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Let's talk a little more about the adaptation. So is there music involved? Do you have any of the iconic songs?
So we have our composers from worked on projects for Disney and all different parks all over the world. So we have an original soundtrack, but it still pays homage to some of your favorite moments. We got some surprises up our sleeves that people will definitely recognize, tunes and songs. And but yeah, there's a lot of original music, which is very, very catchy. I can't stop singing it all day, all night. No one will be upset by it. It's very, very, very fun. So yeah, I'm excited for people to hear it.
So you said that you saw the original Oz on Ice. What about that production stuck with you?
You know, I seriously remember to this day, I was sitting there, my aunt took me, and I remember watching Dorothy skate, and I was like, wow, I wonder like what her real life is like. I remember thinking this, I was like 8, and I was like, it must be cool to be able to go and perform on this show and then, you know, use your talents that you've trained your whole life for. And I sat there and I was like, I want to give it a go. So I did. And I became, you know, a very high level competitive skater. And then I toured as a principal skater with Disney on Ice for years. And it kind of just opened the doors to me to this ice world that, you know, I never imagined was a thing. Like you said, it's competition, but there's so much more after that people aren't aware of. So it really was a great experience for me.
I love ice skating, figure skating. I think it's one of the coolest things to watch. Obviously, it's a fan favorite. Olympics time is, I think, when most people are exposed to it. I remember I was so obsessed with Harry Potter when the movie started coming out that I started taking private ice skating lessons because I wanted to be Harry Potter in a production of Harry Potter on ice at some point. I never learned to skate that well, so my dreams kind of ended after a couple months. But when you saw The Wizard of Oz on Ice and it inspired you to become a figure skater, and this, did you imagine like what role you would have liked to have played in The Wizard of Oz?
Great question. I don't know. I feel like you guys don't see my height, but I'm like a short male figure skater. So the roles in there were hard for me to play. But I really remember the most iconic scene was the Winkies scene at the castle. And I was like, oh, I want to be one of them. Those are so cool. So yeah, I think that was it for me. I think, you know, just wanting to be involved in the show was exciting enough for me to want to skate.
Now, you heard us talking about the iconic legacy of the Oz on Ice merch, because that really truly has stuck with the Oz fandom all these decades later. Can we expect something similar from this production?
Oh yeah, we're doing some really cool merch in the show. Yes, melt the witch, not the ice. We love it. The cool thing is, some of our merch are actually interactive in the show, which is really neat. So we have these wristbands that say Oz on Ice, and they will magically change color per scene in the show, or, you know, the audience can, you know, help the show like save the day at some parts where it's like, raise your bands, and they truly will, you know, sparkle rainbow when they're flying over the rainbow, or when we're in Emerald City, they turn green. It's just, you know, not something that a lot of these shows have done before, where it's so interactive. And, you know, after you can take them home, you know, after an hour of using it in our show and our program, you can actually take them home and use them to yourselves and replace the battery. So it's not something where it's like a one and done, which is, I think, going to be the most exciting. I'll tell you that our warehouse is just full of light up wristbands right now. Another cool part are these Oz glasses. They're the green glasses that actually will instruct you, hey, put on your glasses as you get to the Emerald City. And we have some special laser effects that actually interact with the glasses. It's really cool. And then obviously the collector's pin, which we have, and right here, actually, really cool.
That is gorgeous.
So, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
So we have one more version coming. As well as, the light up windmills like you'd expect, and programs, and then the soundtrack pass. So there's a lot going on. And of course, with this being the first year on the road, we're going to learn a lot about merch and what people like and what people want. So we're excited to, this is just year one. So we're excited to build this merch franchise as we go along as well. But we've heard that everybody loves the merch and we're getting lots of messages. So we're definitely actively, building that collection for everybody. So we're excited.
Amazing. And that we saw that soundtrack pass, and we have Ginny who's watching. Thanks for watching us live along with our other friends. Will the music be available to stream or on CD?
Sure. So it will be able to stream. So when you're there, you'll get this pass, and it should have a QR code that will take you directly to the link of the track. And or I believe you can buy it on iTunes. I'm not sure if it's released yet. I think in a month or two. But yeah, I wish I could share some of the music with you guys. It's so good. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. People love it.
We're so looking forward to hearing it. I mean, the book will turn 125 years old this year. The legacy of it is vast. There are adaptations that go back hundreds of years. And here we are in 2025. Oz on Ice has been out of the original production's been off the ice for decades, and we're still talking about it to this day. Talk to me about how it feels to add your stamp to that legacy.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I think that this is just going to turn so many heads and be a long-term touring show. Funny enough, you were mentioning Oksana Bayul. I had a really good chat with her when I first started working on this show and picking her brain. And, I was like, you were the original. Like, what do you think? And, she gave me some really great advice too, which was really awesome as this tour continues to build. It's cool to be able to talk to some of the originals from the show too and get some inspiration, which is great. And we might have a shout out soon coming from her. We'll see.
Nice. That's cool. And the even after that tour closed in 2000, that the costumes from that production have remained available for rent for local productions of The Wizard of Oz on stage. I saw one a few years ago that featured those costumes from The Wizard of Oz on Ice. How fun was it to create The Wizard of Oz for yourself, to go back to the book and incorporate some of the things? We're looking at, the fantasy here that you're bringing to life on ice.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun. And a lot of these costumes haven't been released just yet, so a lot will change from this photo. But it's just amazing to be able to recreate and add our own twist to them. I think my favorite scene, without giving too much away, is obviously we start in all sepia colors for the whole opening number. And then obviously when we get to Munchkin Land, there's some surprises along the way. I don't want to ruin it, but I will just say flashes of color that you wouldn't expect to see when they get to Munchkin Country. Like, it will blow people's minds. It's really cool. The whole set illuminates everything. It's awesome. So it's different, in Munchkin Land too, like watching the Kenneth Feld version, like, how do we accomplish Munchkin on Ice kind of situation? So we did a really good job at creating some of these costumes that make them look smaller than her in the beginning. And then kind of once we start the tricks, it gets into more moving costumes and very, very, cool moments. And that, that's a big number with all these props. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. It will be great.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, as we're looking at the witch here, it looks like she's defying gravity in the Wizard of Oz here a little bit. You were talking about how, the timeliness of Wicked making the Wizard of Oz popular again. Tori mentioning, of course, the 125th anniversary of the original L. Frank Baum novel. Any chance for a future production of Wicked on Ice?
Oh my God. I would love to. I don't know how that would, if it would ever be allowed, but man, would I just
Sure,
slay
well,
that,
you just have to. We still have to live long enough.
right? Another
Yes,
50 years, we'll make it.
so true.
No, I would love to. I mean, obviously, I've seen that show like 8 times on Broadway, and then I'm sure we've all seen the movie so many times we can't count anymore. Boy, would that be iconic. I would love to do something like that for sure.
You know, it would be more iconic. Gregory Maguire's Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West on ice, the Philosophy Club on ice.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
let's go. That'd be great. I mean, yeah, I would love that. So
That would be definitely wild. Well, just so that everyone knows, tickets are available now at wizardofozonice.com. The tour right now has dates from February 13th through April 6th. And I'm curious, are you going to be adding more? And you said that, this is the first year. So what does the future look like for the Wizard of Oz on Ice?
Sure. Well, actually, we've now officially extended through May 1st due to popularity. So we will be going through May 1st this year, and then we might be doing a summer residency show in Illinois, not confirmed, but in discussions. And then for next year, this year we did a lot of East Coast, Midwest. Next year, we're still going to do some East Coast and Midwest, but we're definitely going to make our way to the West Coast, as well as potentially Hawaii and internationally. So we're excited. Our Fairy Tales and Ice show went to Australia, and we had a show go to Taiwan. So I would hope that very soon we'll be able to go international as well.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Well, again, everyone can go to wizardofozonice.com to see the upcoming dates, find a location near you or within driving distance. Get your tickets now because this is going to be popular. Will merch eventually be available online in addition to, yes?
Yes, once the tour starts rolling out, we'll be releasing it, which is where we're gonna, like, we have thousands and thousands of items, but we're like, uh-oh, I feel like so many people want merch. So we're like holding to put it online for a few weeks into the tour, because we are anticipating needing to ship in a lot more. So
yeah, that's great. Don't you agree, Tori, for those who can't get to it or can't get to it yet or this year, they can at least get on the Wizard of Oz on Ice train, so to speak, and order their merch online. That's great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was one of those kids that did not get to see the original production in person on ice, but that legacy stayed with me because I was able to snag some of that merch. So that's really exciting to hear.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see the program too. We're doing a photo shoot in like 5 days. So I'll send it to you. Like I said, there's a lot of different updates to it. So we'll make sure that we release that as well.
Thank you so much. Well, and will you come back sometime and give us updates as the show goes on and keep us posted on the development of the show? And we're really excited to see it. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited for Wizard of Oz on Ice. Where can people find you? I know that you are the founder and CEO of Ice Creative Entertainment. There is an Instagram page for Ice Creative Entertainment, and also Wizard of Oz at Wizard of Oz on Ice is on Instagram. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
Sure. I'm just at Alex Wilfand on Instagram, and then the same with Facebook. And then, like you said, following Ice Creative Entertainment is kind of cool to see the other things we've done in the past. Like we've partnered with Disney and Busch Gardens and SeaWorld and parks in Dubai, and we've created shows for all these amazing venues. So just people know they're in good hands when they come to the show as well. But yeah, they can follow me or go through the company however they see fit.
Brilliant. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time.
I can't wait. I'm going to see it. I'm so grateful that it's coming to a location near me. So I'll be seeing it in February. I can't wait.
This is so exciting. I'm going to snag tickets today.
I know. And to hear that there's an original soundtrack, I mean, we don't get that often. And you hear him say that there's going to be a moment where he kind of dropped the flying over the rainbow. We don't really know the context or when or where in the show, but that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's nice to see that we're going to get some nods to the MGM film, which inadvertently is a nod to that original Oz on Ice production. So this is going to be really exciting.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Tori, for chatting today. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. Thanks, everybody, for watching us. And, please give us a like and a share and follow us at the Ozlog, at Ryan J Reviews. Both of our YouTube channels can use the help, and our socials and the rest of it. And until next time, we'll see ya.
Bye, guys.